there, and as they're summoning, hovering the Tom catch, thought that might have been the lane, but no, they go back over. Looks like Viktor going to be the Lucian answer, making the call that you made, which is, look, Impact's not on the Lucian, it's on Jiizuke. So, okay, right away, Pee-wee, what do you want to play in the Lucian? I want to play Viktor. Okay, cool, lock it in for you, no problem. And then we'll see what the rest of the draft looks like. Of note, though, right now, absolutely no crowd control on the EG side. Sure, Ignar's going to play a Leona or something, throw it back to the Misfits days and whatnot, but there is no lockdown just yet for the Rumble, and no one to keep people in place for the Lucian.
Yeah, and it does make you think, hey, maybe they'll go towards that Nautilus right here as the third pick. Of course, if you do that, there is the ability for TSM to have their own answer, but you next have your now 2 bans to protect from that. So we'll see if they want to go towards that or if they want to try to go towards a top lane answer. Something like a Jace will be pretty comfortable for Impact. Kennen, another good option, and they are going to prioritize getting the answer to the Gnar here. So Impact going for kind of that lane counter. This is a pretty old school look. It is one of those champions that can fare quite well into the Gnar. It's generally more about winning in the early levels than the continuation of that, as most Kennens are still building AP for the team fight and less about that 1v1.
And there is that small buff Kennen got a few patches ago. The W auto attacks do a bit more damage, so even the patch is maybe helping a bit there. But yeah, you mentioned Impact, how he's not kind of typical Lucian player. Kennen is one of the few sort of more damage-focused champions that he does play. Oftentimes his pool has been fairly shallow and often tank-focused at that, but Kennen, we saw him play it at the World Championship as well, did decently there. So should feel comfy on this one. It's not a reckless where it's going down to the bottom lane. We're certainly going to wait to see what the carries are elsewhere. But hey, it's been an option before. Kai'Sa off the table, Ezreal off the table. Yes, indeed. I mentioned meta calls. I think we're going to see a point in the near future where Ezreal is getting first rounded for either team or getting banned away. I think he is by far the best bot laner in League of Legends, and I think a higher priority pick in a lot of cases than things like this Viktor or Gnar. I think teams will come to discover that. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of my feeling on the champion.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it definitely did perform very well. We saw a lot of the Frozen Heart third even. So, if you are able to put out a tremendous amount of damage with the Divine Thunder, you got some HP in there, you've got armor, you've got pretty much infinite mana with the Vanamune plus the Frozen Heart. So you are feeling pretty difficult to take down. The Nautilus ban I like a lot. We talked about that pairing here. Clearly, EG wants to set up some sort of a dive. The Kennen can hold you in place a little bit with the stuns coming through, but you do want something on top of that, and we'll see if it is going to be something like the Leona here, or if EG do want to leave their support pick here for last. The Thresh coming through. So, yeah, I mean, not the best CC tools to actually hold you in place. I mean, the box can help, the flake can help. There are some things there. But the hard engage is actually very poor on EG. Unless they're looking towards a pick like an Ashe, then they are going to be very light on hard engage and really relying on TP flanks, essentially, here from Impact, or potentially picks with the Thresh. I like the Leona here as an answer. Of course, there is a preferential flay kind of interaction there where you can flay out of the Zenith Blade, but is a powerful engage tool here. Very, very tanky, tough to take down, and TSM is drafting really standard front to back 5v5.
So a couple things I like about this one. So one, I know Tristana's already in the meta, so it's a common pick no matter what, but I love Trist into Kennen. Buster shot Kennen as he starts the ultimate, get him out of there, get away from the slicing maelstrom. That's a very valuable matchup to see, so okay, props to loss on that one. The other one is Leona, I think is second to Karma in terms of champs I like to see into Rumble. Leona's happy to go lock it. Compared to someone like Nautilus who kind of wants to go chem tank, needs the move speed a bit more, Leona's so long range that she can get away with a defensive mythic while still being a good engage tank. And so, okay, the Rumble ult came down, I lock it. On the other side, love the Jinx for Danny. I think she's a really, really strong champion. Works really well in strong AoE comps in the first place because they're low, ready to be finished off by her ult or her rockets.
And also pairs really well with a Thresh. This actually can be a kill lane. People think of Jinx as this late game champion, but hook into chompers is really, really dangerous. If you get caught by that, if you get flayed out of your rocket jump there on the side of loss, that can be very problematic. My concern for EG is if you are not playing from ahead, this comp doesn't have a lot of ways to come back. This comp does not have a lot of ways to find picks, to find fights. They are very low on the hard engage. Again, it's going to be really relying on Impact to find that great TP flank. If Thresh is on vision, you're not usually going to be able to find the hook. People back up as you move forward. It's pretty straightforward stuff. TSM definitely going with the more traditional 5v5 comp, the Leona to start things. You have the Gnar to follow up or to potentially look for those TP flanks. Zone control there from the Viktor, and Tristana, as you said, great disengage on the Kennen. Also scales well here alongside. So I feel there is some pressure on EG to really get some work done in the early stages and try to snowball this game.
Pressure on EG indeed as we hit the rift here for the first game of the day. TSM are tied for first. They may have ended spring in third place in the playoffs, but they are now atop the standings, tied with Cloud9 at 13 wins. So is this going to be TSM split? They won the last summer split. They could do the same thing again this year. We'll see if that one happens. Same roster as the one they ran spring with. EG have brought in a freshman in Danny, 17-year-old phenom. EG coaching staff said he is a strict upgrade. He's ready right now. Now he's got a lot of growth to go. Obviously, again, not a lot of competitive experience. This is his rookie split, his second game ever on the stage, but on the Jinx to be carrying here.
And I've been really excited to see this becoming a more common trend, right? Actually looking more towards these young players, having the confidence to actually bring them up, get them the LCS experience to kind of make a big bet that they are going to be the stars of the future. You know, this is something that people have talked a lot about in North America, and more teams are doing it. And as that becomes more common, it forces other orgs, other rosters to think about where they can find that next big star as well, which is something I think is really positive for the league. So pretty exciting to see. We'll see how Jiizuke can play this out. A lot of sustain prioritized here on both sides in the mid lane. Corrupting Potions start, both playing TP, so nothing too crazy. But Jiizuke definitely wants to push. And the reason that the lead is so important, I think, for EG is to be able to set up for objectives, right? If you don't have hard engage, it's so hard to be second to the spot at these dragons and at these Rift Heralds. You really want to be controlling vision, first one's there, and you're the ones to start it out.
Keep in mind, there is one free Pro View lane every single game of the LCS this season. Of course,
Love it.
Pay for the whole show, but mid lane, this one, PowerOfEvil versus Jiizuke. He definitely one of the strongest performers on TSM. Jiizuke, so much of the reason they were about to beat Dignitas yesterday. Also, of course, a very strong player himself, so check it out if you want to. Otherwise, stay right here with us and get everything else. Top lane right now has some pressure on Huni's side. Couple autos still coming through for impact. Jiizuke gets the fairly standard Trinket War, but that one gets swept out by Spica right away.
Yeah, PoE winning pretty heavily in these trades as far as the health department goes. And Jiizuke has used an extra potion, is down quite a bit on health. Does have a lot more mana, so that is something working in the favor of him for now. You know, if you can kind of tax the mana of PowerOfEvil, perhaps he can take a bad base there. But things looking really good for Huni up on this top side. You know, Grasp is a very strong laning rune. If you can control the minion wave, have the Grasp prepped, step forward, boomerang into the Grasp auto, even if you don't get that third hit for the hyper, your trades are actually quite effective. And it's very difficult for Kennen to actually bully a Gnar when you are being pushed in, because you need to hit the shurikens, and having the minions in between you and the Gnar makes it pretty much impossible to win a lot of these trades.
Yeah, and right now it's just going to be hard shove for top lane, no problem at all for Huni. First TP comes in early for Jiizuke just for a Doran's Blade. Had the Corrupting Potion already. Keep in mind, you can't sell the biscuits for a bunch of money anymore, so that's less often to be one that you use the shop for.
I think he wants to try to get him locked in lane, right? When he's low on mana there, if you can try to force a bad base, maybe force him to base on a time where the wave is pushing away from him, or even where you can crash it immediately and deny some of that farm, I think that's what Jiizuke is looking to do. And PowerOfEvil will have to go back here pretty soon, but we'll see how long exactly he wants to hang around. Not really much of an angle for a dive here with no CC, though.
Yep. So, of course, in the summer split, camps respawn 15 seconds slower, so there's a little bit of downtime. Svenskeren's like, all right, I'm done with Scuttle. We still got a bit, so nothing mid? Okay, I guess I'll recall, and then he'll be there in time for the chickens, no problem. But do have a bit more downtime in the early game here. Spica managed to get his recall off, though, for Boots and Ruby Crystal, and he's ready to go for his Krugs in a second. And wants to put pressure on him in. Now keep in mind, yeah, they're going to burn this TP. So Jiizuke, does he stay to harass? And that means Spica's going to walk in. They're going to start with some damage, but can you ever get away? No, you're not. This is going to be first blood off the bat. 421 into the game. First blood, 400 gold on a Spica.
Really nice timing there from TSM. The base right as the cannon is about to die. PowerOfEvil just goes for the early TP, not actually waiting to get full mana there. Gets back. Jiizuke had no way out. I think he would have had to dash backwards and flash immediately to even have a chance, but realistically, with Spica behind you, there's no way out, so he just kind of accepts his death and is going to have to take the L on this one.
Yeah, nicely done. Good pickup there. And yeah, as you mentioned, no summon is burned. There's no way to go through that one. But even though 600 gold was earned for the kill and assist, it is only a 300 gold game right now. Bot lane up 6 CS with 4 more to kill. So 10 CS lead bot lane for Danny and Ignar. That's really nicely done. Good job. Top side, 2 CS difference. Okay, sure, not a big one, but it is EG somewhat having better laning, as now Svenskeren wants to get a lot of, yeah, this is a lot of ward coverage right now, and he's going to get to take away the Wolf Camp.
Yeah, nice little punish there, but we can see Udyr is back around mid lane once again, and Jiizuke will be forced out. They still have flashes available. We'll see if they want to go for the long chase, but it doesn't look like it. And with Svenskeren behind him, shouldn't amount to anything more.
Yeah, not worth burning, I think, double flash to get the bear stun into Viktor being back in range. PoE also just now out of mana already, so taking a recall off that wave. Jiizuke going to collect it all, no problem. Has his own boots. It's also a big deal for getting away from Udyr. And, okay, Spica managed to spot both control wards, as maybe SwordArt helped as well, but 2/3 of the wards that just got put down outside the map are gone now.
Nicely done there. Yes, SwordArt on the roam, I believe, did find one of those. But so far, so good for TSM. I think Spica, has done a good job playing towards the Lucian. Makes a lot of sense. This is one of those places where you know that Jiizuke as a player wants to play aggressive, and you also know that Lucian as a champion needs to play aggressive. So pretty easy to anticipate that.
Level 6, tail into Gnar manages to land the ult just for damage. Doesn't get him into the wall, but lands the stun afterwards, so good damage. Pulls a turret shot more than he needs, but is there going to be a dive coming? Here's Spica, level 6 on Udyr, and says, look, he's under the turret.
Now he is
level
ult.
6 Kennen, yeah, that's so tough. All right, yeah, they take the no-risk play. They said, look, at best we burn ulti. There's a chance we just die under the turret. There's really no upside for this one. Just stay in Fog of War. Don't let them know for sure you're top lane. Don't let them feel as safe to run through the bottom jungle. If Udyr could be in that brush, right, if he's Schrodinger's Udyr, yeah, you can't go for that play anymore.
Exactly. I mean, I think there was maybe a timing if Spica was up there a little bit earlier. If you actually go immediately after Huni has that big trade, pre-Kennen being 6, it's a dive you could look for. But as soon as Kennen hits 6, unless you can insta-kill him under the tower, it gets so bad. The ultimate goes down, you're taking tower shots, you get stunned up. It's almost always going to be doomed trying to dive a Kennen in those situations. But the CS lead just expanding here. Yes, there is more to farm for a loss, but Danny and Ignar have put on a lot of pressure, utilizing the rockets from Jinx there, getting beneficial trades. Obviously, difficult to engage as well in as SwordArt, knowing that you can get flayed out of that Zenith Blade and really punished on the exit.
Yeah, one of the big things is there's no displacement on this kit until Lost has ulti, and that's not going to really fit the bill, so you are always able to play around Lantern. Like, if you compare to Nautilus, right, you can ruin your Lantern by taking it the wrong time when the hook comes in or the ult comes in. You're like, oh, crap, well, I'm just dead now. Leona just does not have that kind of gameplay. It's why Trist can do well into her, and it's why Tristana, or I should say Thresh, is going to feel good in that one as well, is you really, as long as you're paying attention, as long as your support has eyes, and Ignar, he's got one in the beginning of his name. He's going to have he's going to do a good job with the lanterns.
And you were flaming the Gwen puns.
Yeah. Hey, at least that one's unique. All right, that is original. No one's ever made that joke before.
You are unique. No one will argue that.
That's true.
Yeah. You're special.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rift Herald started up here for EG. You can see Danny has roamed up. The fact that Lost isn't moving kind of means that this should be EG's Rift Herald. So Danny is heading back down, but if they get eyes on him, TSM could potentially look to challenge here, and they are moving Gnar down, but without Mega, it's kind of a tough fight to take.
Here we go, 1,500 health, about to be on it. They pop the eye, smite. A little early, but it's still going to come through. Rumble, ulti gonna make that one happen. Svenskeren gets a kill on a SwordArt. Mini Gnar, Huni just gonna die, and it's time to run away, TSM. That fight was never yours.
Yeah, that was a big overforce from TSM. I mean, you're flashing in as SwordArt, looking for the engage onto the Rumble, but no one is there with him to immediately capitalize on that. While he's CC'd, nothing even is coming through as far as the damage. Huni didn't have Mega Gnar available, so I think this is never a fight you should go for. Like, where's the follow-up? Where's the damage that SwordArt is expecting here? No one's even in position, so by the time they actually arrive, the fight is already lost. You're already gone. Huni has about 10% on his Gnar bar there, so there's no way he's going to get to Mega Gnar in time to have an impact on that fight. So big overforce from SwordArt, and TSM end up giving over 2 free kills, plus the Rift Herald, which was already going to be EG's.
Okay, well, look at that now. Evil Geniuses, they've got the 500-600 gold lead. They've got a Rift Herald to summon. Just waiting to find the spot they want to put it down on. Worth noting, Jiizuke is the one who picked this one up in the kind of chaos of the fight. He's the one who walked over the orb because, Svenskeren was busy using Flame Spitter on people, so had better things to do than wait for that one. But it means that this gold is always going Jiizuke's way. Honestly, I'm a fan of it. I feel like he can, he's going to use the gold well. It's going to be solid for him. He just doesn't have the same ability to get around the map and show up to bottom lane to help donate towards Jinx. Gets a blue.
Got to give some credit to Huni, who has done really well in this laning phase here against Impact. And maybe this matchup has changed a bit over the years, but Impact did have counter pick, and this was traditionally kind of known as that Gnar counter. I don't play a lot of Kennen myself, but Huni has handled it very, very well, has had pressure pretty much the whole way through. We'll see, if that swings at all, now that Impact did get a little bit more gold in his pockets and has even things out. But like that EG is starting up the Dragon, I do think that you need to threaten Soul as a win condition for this type of composition. You want to have ways to force your opponents to come into you, to circumvent your lack of engage. And Soul is one of the best ways to do that.
Yeah, looking good so far. It is going to be a fairly late Dragon, honestly. 10.5 means they had better things to do. Certainly the bot lane was winning in farm. That's great, but Svenskeren brings the team over. They go for the Rift Herald first. Otherwise, not a lot of gank pressure. And how hard is it to land a max range hook on SwordArt when he knows he doesn't need to play in short range? So it's not like bot was gankable, and so they didn't put the pressure down there. 1,000 gold, still with the Rift Herald to use, though. First Dragon as well. Jiizuke, yep. Gets his dash away. Gnar going to land to the wall, so Huni going to find another slow, going to find some decent damage. Sidestep's not going to get away, and he may just die here. Impact has to burn the ulti. Gnar is there, flashes, and he gets the hyper kill. But the turret, it doesn't have aggro or anything else. He's going to be easily claimed up. Nice job by Svenskeren to show up, but now, what about round 2? Because Spica, you're in a 1v2. Ignar is showing up. You got to get away. The flash flay sets it up. The flash comes in time to get away from the hook.
Yeah, not too bad. We'll have to trade flashes there. Ignar, nice roam to try to find a punish, but Huni getting the solo kill there on Impact. Really nicely done, Svenskeren. Trying to push this out, but PowerOfEvil potentially could punish this.
Does not find the stun with the ulti, and if that stun had landed, that boy was dead, but able to have just enough move speed to get away. Survives it all. Jiizuke W's backwards with a double shot. Says, okay, I took down 1 plate. We're not going to get much more than this with some of the Herald now. We'll obviously claim 2 more, but might not get the 3rd afterwards. We'll see how many more autos you can get across. Wants to get it. Yeah, not going to be able to make that one happen. SwordArt again. Yeah, you can dash in, but it does not matter. You will never interrupt that lantern.
Not going to be able to stop that, but a lot of gold in the pockets there of Jiizuke. So despite the fact that Huni gets the solo kill, the roam doesn't actually amount to too much for PowerOfEvil as he's covering topside. We can watch this one more time. Huni in Mega, backing off, and he sees Impact moving down to try to defend that ward, it looked like, try to place one himself, but just barely gets caught on the edge of the wall. The Q reset as he picks up the boulder, straight in on top, and even though the equalizer comes through, Huni flashes in, finishes him off with a hyper proc there. Really nicely played by Huni, going aggressive, getting in the face of Impact, and really creating a kind of a pressure valve here for TSM that has been falling behind, especially on that bottom side.
Yeah, but ultimately, end of the day, the top lane CS remains at ±10, and Impact has got the better KDA. Obviously, the really good Herald fight made that really easy to tack on a kill and assist there, but I mean, ultimately everything that Huni's doing has been able to be answered, either because Svenskeren was there and in time to cast the ulti, but it's looking pretty good. Evil Geniuses solidly 1,500 up after they finally crashed that Herald. We've got the next Dragon 2.5.
And you got to give credit to the bot lane not only for actually getting this advantage, but also for doing it with the kind of more utility-based summoners, right? Exhaust and Cleanse are going to be more valuable, generally speaking, than the Ignite and the heal later on. I always feel like Exhaust especially scales a lot better. So, when you can get an advantage in an Exhaust lane against an Ignite lane, I always feel extra good as a support. So Ignar going to be making things a little bit more difficult for Trist. Even if you see that window to jump in, you've got to take the Exhaust into consideration. And Huni on the Gnar, when you're looking for the Mega Gnar as well, Exhaust is going to get great value.
Minor thing I want to point out that I'm a really big fan of is seeing Ignar go towards Guardian. We do see it a fair bit now. It used to be like exclusively Aftershock a year ago, but more and more people are picking this one up. You are less of a frontliner when that happens. Obviously, Aftershock is so good at making yourself tanky. But if your job is more to set up everyone else, to make sure that you throw a Jinx, a Lantern, and it's like, here's 400 shielding, she can't die. Like, that's really, really valuable. And, cool to see, the builds change up occasionally because it is smart and it is a real choice.
Absolutely. I agree completely. I think it is pretty superior. But they're trying to go for the dive here. 3-man top.
They find a slow, jumps in, puts the ulti on, but he's just getting dogpiled upon. Goodbye to Impact. TP kits for Jiizuke only to catch 4 CS. Just not enough. They burn him down way too quickly. Good job, TSM.
Udyr's just too tanky, bro. You can't do anything about it. Taking up the turret shots there, holding the aggro, allowing them to finish. But EG is trying to punish here in mid lane. Should grab the tower.
Easy damage to Ignar. He has turret aggro as well, so got to be careful. Puts his own shield on, but now PowerOfEvil goes down. Danny flashes forward, and he's going to cleanse away the next stun. Zap going to land only on SwordArt as he takes that one up. Stays alive, burns a couple of summoners, but gets himself that kill. Mid lane turret gone as well, and Ignar wants a bit more. Equalizer shows up, plays him right back on. Let him get the kill. Danny off to a 2-0 start.
That is what you love to see from these young gun ADCs. Getting in there, getting aggressive. Danny, no fear, playing in the face of PowerOfEvil and Spica. Knows he can take some down. Absolutely crushing through. They get 2 towers off that, plus the 2 kills on the Jinx. Yeah. You're certainly going to have your Mythic completed, and likely Azael even on top, going to be quickly moving towards that second item here for Danny. And just in time to go for this dragon. So let's watch this one more time. They want to try to move over and clear out the wave. PowerOfEvil's trying to use the ulti even just dissuade them from getting this tower, but he gets hooked in. The great setup there from Ignar. And then even though Leona comes forward, you can see Danny is actually kiting towards them, looking to move aggressively. They wrap around. Svenskeren is coming in. They spot him with the equalizer. No real way out here from Spica, and even able to donate that last kill onto the Jinx. And Jinx is going to be scary strong now. Does indeed have the
exactly
zeal.
Right.
Whew, that's going to be a very big boy.
Yes, yes indeed. About 12, 13, 1,400 gold ahead of Lost's Tristana, and I'll be honest, Jinx scales better. Rocket Belt, Flash, ulti gonna come in for a slow. Now the Slicing Maelstrom to buy some time. Impact kicked backwards, jumping in. Lost finds the kill. In the meantime, Dragon was slain. How about the rest of the fight, though? Honestly, TSM going right back in with SwordArt. Good damage over the top from Viktor. Nearly kills off Danny. The flash in, and Lost finds himself the shutdown. Finds you an AD carry who knows how to flash forward. Wild Turtle wishes he had that kind of support. And now it's time for the squad to run away. TSM find themselves a couple of kills. It goes 5-5, and they'll get their own turret kill.
Okay, both AD carries showing off a little bit here, going a little bit aggressive. Huni, the follow-up was looking nice too, but they couldn't actually go through and complete any of those final kills, but they get a tower for themselves. It is still EG's Dragon. It starts off again, Impact kind of section from the rest of his team, and despite the fact that he does get the ulti down, it's only on 2 very tanky members. So Lost getting the initial kill. EG wants to come around and punish, but PowerOfEvil was waiting in the flanks here. They pushed Danny back. He did not have his cleanse, so even though he can lantern out, by the time the stun ended, he was way too low to really survive there. And then Huni coming through. Flashy combo, but unfortunately for him, no one was really there to follow up, so it doesn't end up amounting to anything.
Ignar plays it nicely, you know, obviously flaying him away, getting the distance, and then lanterning to maximize the amount of movement he can give his teammate. Works out in the end, but now it's time for the second Rift Herald to be fought over. Keep in mind, EG still up in gold, still up 2-0 in Dragons. Maybe start the next objective. Svenskeren's kind of been everywhere. Not only is he 5 camps ahead of Spica, the kill's obviously relevant there as well, but he's on all the neutral game.
He's also going for, you know, the kind of more aggressive build. It is not more the Sustain, Conqueror Rumble. He's going Dark Harvest, he's going Night Harvester, so he is going more that kind of bursty style, which is what we were usually seeing at MSI, and kind of not the more New Age Rumble that we were watching a lot yesterday. So a bit of a different take, but they are going to have some very threatening AoE in the team fights when you're considering not only the Kennen and the Rumble, but even the potential of a Jinx ult to follow that up. If they can get onto some of these key targets, it can get pretty dangerous. And Rumble from ahead, sometimes you don't even need that much setup. Like the equalizer alone can just light you up and deny a team fight.
If it gets you off the objective, you know, you're sieging mid with Baron, whatever, and you just put someone there at half HP and Lost goes to go recall, it's like, all right, that's mid turret, we got it, thanks everyone. We'll try again in 45 seconds for the inhibitor, and yeah, it works out every single time, it feels like. So 3,000 gold, EG, to be fair, have been in this kind of position before. They were winning about this badly against Dignitas, and the heroics from the Dig squad were enough to turn it around. Slowly going Dardoch, had a lot of assassinations. This time around, though, I'm not sure TSM have that same dynamism. It feels like they were waiting to go into team fights, and the team fights are just going better for EG. Yeah, okay, it's 5-5, so you can't really say that, but the gold's still being earned.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they've been securing a lot of the objectives for themselves. They've gotten 2 heralds, they've gotten 2 dragons, so that is a big deal. And while TSM were getting kills, it was usually EG getting an objective, pressuring a tower, doing something like that. So it always feels that they're kind of getting that little bit extra, as opposed to what TSM has been. Jiizuke was punished a little bit in the early laning phase, but it's been PowerOfEvil actually moving, you know, kind of contrasting to what your expectations may be of these 2 players. It's been PoE moving around the map a lot more. Unfortunately for him, he hasn't really been getting much. So Jiizuke just keeps pushing the wave, keeps attacking the tower. As a result, he's 30 CS ahead. He's going to be up in gold as well because of all the tower plate and tower gold that he has gotten for himself here. So, yeah, a good 1,500 gold up ahead of the opposing mid laner. And as long as they are first to this next dragon, it's a dangerous one to contest for TSM because you're kind of hitting these benchmarks where EG is going to start hitting 2 items. TSM is still going to be on 1 and pieces, and that is a really tough fight to fight a lot of the times.
It is, but we're getting closer and closer to Cloud Soul. That's going to be about 6 minutes and change away if it keeps going EG's way. Right now, though, the fight is over the bottom river, and guess what? TSM have 2 control wards. They've convened the squad to push down mid. Jiizuke's flip pushing in the top lane, so it may just be EG saying, screw it, we've got a gold lead now. We're going to grow that and just trade a dragon. We don't care about your cooldowns. Udyr doesn't do anything with that one at all. Gnar doesn't do anything with that one. Trish doesn't care. Viktor a little bit, but okay, they pulled PoE over. The threat of the turret siege, and now we'll see if they convene right back down.
Yeah, I think with TP available, he maybe has Essence Reaver money or something. We'll see if he does in fact get that. So yeah, he's completed his second item. That's a big spike, right? You know, they're going to have both of their carries, their main ADs, with the 2 items now for this dragon. They definitely want to fight for this. Huni is on a good flanking spot, though. I don't know if they've actually spotted this Gnar. They will see him now.
Impact walks up and says no, but he gets the buster shot out crucially, and that might mean the go button. Gnar gonna maybe soul the man in the side lane, pull him back over. Already they have 1 shot. Lucian, TSM to a great start. Svenskeren runs him down though. Rumble looking pretty good, chasing PoE as well. Kites it out, takes the half of the laser, and gotta be careful now. He's in front of the turret. Now the stun towards SwordArt.
Danny's still alive.
And Svenskeren's still alive as well. Danny flashed on, chased out by Udyr. Both these junglers putting on heroics as it's Spica's turn to show up what he can do, and indeed, who cares about less gold and XP in the jungle? Both of these players are putting their teams on their backs.
Oh, they're playing so well here. And it will be TSM off the back of that, being able to grab this dragon. Jiizuke went down so fast at the start of this fight. I'm not sure if this was him just coming in from a weird angle. We'll have to watch exactly what did happen. Impact was trying to threaten a flank here by himself, but he goes out, immediately jump away. The buster shot comes through. And again, Impact is kind of getting attacked before really able to be a part of this. You can see Jiizuke going in, and he's just way too far in. Just gets stunned up by SwordArt, burst down by Lost. Yes, there is the initial trade kill. But then Huni getting in on top of Danny, hits the boulder over the wall, follows there through with the wall up, hits another boulder, and Danny was just too low. It was very close when the lantern came through. You're thinking, all right, maybe he can carry out this fight, but the fact that Spica had the flash available, gets on the Jinx, finishes him off, gets them that dragon, stops the snowball towards Soul, and that is so big. Jiizuke just not really able to contribute much in that fight whatsoever.
It wasn't able to. Really neither for Impact. Almost all of that damage was just on Gnar.
Yep.
Huni, very smartly came in, said, hey, fight me, we're going for it. Impact burned the ulti before he was lanterned out. He might have had to. He may have never survived it, so, he had no other choice, but the ult timed out. Slicing Maelstrom was gone by the time he was able to be in the fight proper, and that's good play by Huni to zone the man out so much. Fight, of course, still very, very close. TSM did go 4-3 in that fight, so more gold to their favor. You're seeing the game only 2,000 apart, clearly in striking distance. Death Cap coming in soon for PoE. Love Death Cap, great item. That's going to feel real powerful. And we'll see when they fight next because they got the dragon too.
I do think the game starts to get a lot harder here for EG. Now that you can't actually threaten the soul, the first dragon wasn't even that early. Now you're looking at 45, 36 minutes to even try to threaten the soul. By that time, Viktor is going to be 3+ items, and it gets difficult for these ADs to have as much effectiveness, to be getting zoned out by the Leona, by the potential Gnar. Huni has been team fighting incredibly well, keeping Impact out of there. So Impact has got to be a bit more creative about the angles he's approaching from. Try to find a full-on flank, but looks like they want the dive.
Easy stuns and follow-up. Flash to safety. Thank you, Chem Tank. I've seen other options, but in this case, Spica wants to get in. Extra ways, not just SwordArt, but now a move for EG. Lantern brings Svenskeren over. A couple of control wards to make sure they got the vision. But they don't find anyone to pick up just yet. Looping around to the Wolves. Losses. No, we're not going on a fog of war. We're rocket jumping over the Gromp wall. I have no idea who's around blue buff. Take the safe way out. They're going to do that safely enough. No problems there. Bot lane not under fire at all. It's actually been pushed all the way up. The wave is crashing right about in front of EG's turret. Eventually that bot lane will die, but yeah, we'll slowly push back towards TSM's turret.
Slowly going to be bouncing back there. Huni out on that Sterix becomes even more difficult for Impact to really threaten him with any sort of burst. So very effective to just kind of have him buster shot out, have Huni looking to attack and threaten that Kennen. You're always going to win that extended 1v1. Kennen can't really burst you down, so Impact has got to find a good angle, and that's down to having really good TP wards. Ways that he can approach where he's unspotted, where they can maybe force out the buster shot or have him in a position where the buster shot doesn't actually completely knock him out of that fight. But EG, for now, just trying to look to set up again towards this dragon. Does get complicated with the Baron being on the map. There is the ability to try to threaten a trade there.
All right, right now Impact just sitting in the bottom lane, the side lane. I keep getting my words like halfway between the two and just like make a new word out of it. So the bottom lane.
You're an innovator. I
am an innovator. You know, we're making up fantasy words, making up some sci-fi words. We just put them together, capitalize one of them, and yeah, I've invented new languages. We were talking about that at lunch today.
Yeah,
it's a callback that Azael laughs at and no one else really gets. That's okay.
Yeah. Definitely not worth, but it was,
I mean, you laughed, which means it was worth it for me.
Okay, I like
that. If you had
a
good time, I have a good time.
Thanks,
yeah,
Duke.
I got you,
appreciate
man.
you.
Like I said, you're one of my top 5 favorite casters in the LCS.
Yep. One of the top 10 mid laners in the LCS, one of the top 5 color casters.
Yeah, I think you're top 11 mid laners in the LCS.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
All right. So, TSM looking like they want to try to threaten this Baron here. They know EG's setting up on the bottom side. EG has no vision on the top side. Are they aware of this? Blue Trinket is available for Danny, but they spot it now.
Okay. Impact getting chased out, though. Has to burn Slicing Maelstrom. Huni's going to wait it out. Nice ulti timing. Slams him into the wall. That is going to look bad for Impact. Who exactly countered whom? Because Huni just locks the man. Who's the better ex-SKT top laner? Maybe it's Huni in this game. He's crushing the man. 1-5-4 is not the look you want for your top laner here. As EG, well, they're going to walk it anyway because they know Baron's a threat, but the chain stun, poor Rumble just can't do a whole lot of anything. A nice root on a SwordArt, has to jump away. The flash to safety, Svenskeren jumped on, PoE knocks him down, no problem, and it's time to run away. But Danny can deal good damage. The problem is he has no front line. They've all died. Huni flash to safety, no problem, out they go. Rocket not going to find a kill either.
Yeah, he couldn't get that first reset. Danny was close to taking over that fight, but the TSM members, as they got low, all took turns flashing back. 4 flashes expended, but with Impact dying on that top side, he is about to respawn. Unfortunately, he has no ulti, so even if you TP in, there's not much to get done here. They are going to make the call to contest, but Jiizuke going to be caught, face checking.
SwordArt going to stun up Jiizuke, going to jump backwards. He's got Lost on top of him, that's a kill, but now we've got Kennen here again. Impact does not have the ult, though. It fruitlessly didn't save his life, so now it's on cooldown for what could have been a double kill. And that means he will not stop the Baron. That means TSM get this one easy.
Yeah, TSM taking over. EG's grasp on this game has been slipping and slipping, and now they have fully lost control over this one. Impact going to try to take down the Dragon, get something back. With Svenskeren there, they will claim it, so they will push themselves to Soul Point, but EG, we're 4,000 gold ahead. They're now 2K behind, and there are so many towers on the map ripe for the picking here with the Baron buff over on that TSM side. You can expect to see 3-4 towers really falling down, and TSM creating a massive gold lead over these next couple minutes that is going to get PowerOfEvil past his 3-item spike. Tristana has already hit it, and it's getting really tough for EG. And to me, this all started with a solo kill from Huni, the second solo kill of the game onto Impact. They had one blue trinket, they used it, and then they didn't have a second one, so they felt they have to check it. Danny getting close to killing off multiple, but then SwordArt flashes out. We can see Spica getting low, but then he flashes back and back to live here as TSM do knock down that first tower.
And TSM going to knock down a lot more as well. Top lane under fire, that one's going to drop, no problem. There's all 3 outers gone. Good job. Red buff stolen away. Impact just running around. Can he find some kind of a flank? Get some wards down. Now that ward could be a one for himself in a few minutes, but now that ulti's gonna find PoE. He can burn his Zonias, and he's got so much damage. Actually, Jiizuke has to flash away from Viktor, but he still trades one back. So at least PowerOfEvil gets his life, but Gnar also dead.
Yeah, Impact just got a solo kill onto Huni. Caught him at mini, takes him down, getting one back, but lost. Cracking the base on the top side. No one is basing from EG. They're saying, all right, we're down to trade. Let's keep going. But Lost can continue pushing forward here as well. Is EG just going to go for the win?
They need some wave clear. They need someone for wave clear. Lost is saying, okay, I'm going for the Nexus.
It's
and
too
yes,
late.
The minions are gone. Spica has stopped some of the recalls. He's stopped the base push as well, so the turrets are falling. Does a single recall even go off? No, EG are lost on the wrong side of the map. They need one to find their way into the base, but Lost has found the victory.
Oh my god. EG miscalculated there. They get the kills, but Lost is in Tristana with the Baroned up minions there. He continues the push. EG wanted to trade, but you don't have the Baron buff. You don't have the ability to quickly recall and get back to base, and TSM just flooding in, canceling the recalls. I didn't see what actually happened to Impact's recall, because that one looked like it could have completed in mid lane, but it stopped. I didn't see anyone near him, so I'm not sure if that was a cancel or what, but good job by Lost, recognizing the ability to just continue going forward, to commit to the push with the Baron buff, and good job by Spica and the rest of the squad, SwordArt just realizing, hey, it doesn't actually matter if we die at this point. All we have to do is stop the recalls. You will win this game. TSM, nice come from behind victory here, and that's 2 straight to kick off summer.
Yeah, honestly, because of how sort of